So many years ago, I needed answers. I needed answers to almost everything. I needed to know who I am. I needed to know more about God. I needed to know more about religion. I needed answers because I knew that there was something wasn't adding up. I couldn't understand what it was. I needed answers. So this pushed me to start moving from church to church. When I tell you that I visited churches, you can hear from me. The ones who are close to me, they know this. I have visited churches. We are talking about many churches, not one, many. And we're talking about different religions. Now, for me, the reason why I did that, I made that decision was because the only thing I ever knew from childhood was church. I knew okay, there was a church and there was religion, and so anybody that needed God, anybody needed to seek God, they had to go to this church. And then you would meet this person there who would now tell you about the church and what they are doing and where God is. And the only thing I used to hear that God was somewhere there in heaven. So then we had to pray, and then the God will, do so. So they always tell us about this heaven and then the hell and everything and all these stories from the Bible. You guys know the stories and the Jesus and the scriptures and everything. So I was moving up and down. I went to this church. Talk to these pastors. What is going on? Maybe you can tell me something. Oh, the pastors told me something. I say, okay. In a few weeks, the situation was the same. I realized that no church could answer my uh, deepest troubling questions that I had. There is no church. Let me promise you. There is no pastor I ever talked with. There's no bishop. There's no cardinal. There is no priest I ever sat with or even talked with, and they have really told me what was going on in my life. So, to cut the whole story short, somewhere down the road, I received an awakening. Okay. I received a spiritual awakening. I was not even in church. I received a spiritual awakening. This spiritual awakening taught me so many things. I learned so many things on this journey. So much stuff, all about these religions and everything about family, everything about school, everything about. I received all the clarity that I've, crystal clear clarity that I had never got or listened or received from anywhere else in my life. Every answer that I have ever asked myself, it was revealed when I received my spiritual awakening. So I discovered a lot of things. I found out that okay, so all this time I've been moving up and down, going church to church. Sometimes even I was asked to pay money in those churches because there are some priests who say, "Oh, um, if you want a special prayer, pay this amount of money. A special prayer, pay that amount of money." And I actually figured out that these were even false churches. Most of them even were wrong. The false pastors, a lot of these false preachers, even some of them were narcissists. I could now figure out that I was moving up and down looking for the answers that was only found within me. I was the only one I was waiting for. Actually, I was the only one I was looking for. So I discovered my own spirituality. When I discovered my own spirituality, this helped me to heal. I discovered so many things about the universe. I discovered so many things about what do they really mean by God. The God we have always been looking for is not somewhere up in the sky. The God is inside of us. It is not somewhere up there, you have to pray and some God will come and, we have always been the ones we've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. And sometimes either most of the painful things you can even not express, even sometimes explain to people. They'll not understand. There is some things that spiritual people do or even know that are very difficult to explain and understand and overstand for an ordinary mind. Now, I do not have any business with dark spirituality. I don't use my spirituality for dark things, to deceive people, to take things from people. No, I don't do that. Okay? My own spirituality is to help me raise my vibration so that I can be living in my true authentic self. I can actually meet my greatest version, my higher self. I don't do anything which involves destroying other people's lives. Now, when you talk about spirituality and religion, people always get it twisted. People always think that when you're talking about spirituality, we're talking about religion. When we're talking about religion, we're talking about spirituality. Sometimes people they think that these two things are the same, and it's a completely different world. A spiritual person is a person who has found the power that is within them. They have stepped into that power. Actually, those people are even more enlightened. They are more tapped into the true nature of who they really are. There is some other people who are not into spirituality. They don't even know who they are. The only thing they know when they get a problem, they're like, okay, this problem, I'm going to solve it by going to church. Any problem they have, maybe it's an addiction, maybe it is a sickness, maybe it is this. The only thing they know in their minds is go to church. And then the pastor will pray for them for that problem to go away. And let me tell you something, those people, they have gone to church forever. And that problem is still there. Even if it can be something as common as poverty. Some people go to churches to pray for blessings. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I have taken full accountability for my own life post-awakening. I have done the inner work. Myself, I did not request anyone. I did not sit with the therapy. I did not go to a doctor. I did not talk with a psychologist. I did the inner work and I've changed my life. Which means I have found the answers that I've always been searching for within. So sometimes you find people who kind of criticize spirituality. People that will be like, oh, those things are demonic. That one is demonic and this one is satanic. Sometimes. And when you look at spiritual people, these are people who don't judge other beliefs or stuff like that. They don't judge people. Me, I know that sometimes there is people who have been born into religion. There's people who the only thing they know in their mind is religion. Okay, it is Sunday. Let us put the kids, get them ready. Let us go to church and come back and go through the week the normal way. Sunday, let us go to church. That's the only thing they know. And I understand because I've been in that boat as well many years ago. I used to be that person who used to wake up and put on my clothes and go to church. But ladies and gentlemen, a spiritual person, like I've said, they understand everybody depending on their level of consciousness. And there are people who don't. Real spiritual people, the real ones, the authentic ones, they are also fake spiritual ones because they do these practices just to harm other people and stuff like that. But a real spiritual person doesn't judge other souls. They just try to meet those souls at their own level of understanding. So I had a comment one time, could have been a couple of months ago, I don't really remember, maybe 6-7 months ago. And somebody came to my channel and they were like, oh, how can you do this and you don't believe in Jesus, So I was thinking in my mind, I was like, okay, this person was like, I don't remember the video it was about what, but I saw a comment and somebody said that, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe. The person said they're going to unsubscribe for the channel because I did not believe in Jesus. Now, I've got a lot of those comments over time, and there's even people who have unsubscribed. And I would encourage those people who are actually struggling with that kind of truth to unsubscribe, because these kind of channels, they are always going to challenge your own beliefs that you've always known your entire life. Okay, spiritual channels have told you enlightenment. You will discover how much you do not know, not only about yourself, but also about the world around you when you meet those kind of spiritual people, because they are fully enlightened individuals. But a person who is coming from the religious perspective, they will fail to fit in and to figure out what these spiritual people are talking about. So you may find a person who is like a spiritual person and they are a little bit more enlightened. They may not necessarily be fully enlightened, but they may be enlightened to a certain degree. And there is things that they can actually enlighten about to different individuals, and those people will fail to understand those things because they only know and come from a very religious background and perspective. So that's why the two worlds actually fail to meet, because you have people who believe in religion and you have people who actually believe in their own spirituality. Because any form of growth, the biggest amount of growth and success has only been achieved by the people who have been able to dig into their own spirituality. If a person is coming and telling me about scriptures and Jesus and everything, okay, I understand they don't understand what I'm talking about. I might understand what they're talking about because I have been a religious person many years ago. But as much as they may resonate with my stuff, they also want me to attach scriptures and religion to my stuff, which can't happen. If they are into religion, for example, then why are they coming to my stuff for enlightenment? The people that are into religion and normally sending these comments and criticizing what I do and everything, so why didn't they get this enlightenment and the stuff they are listening from me? Why have they not got them from their own pastors in church? Why are these information is not in the Bible? The information which I'm talking about is not even in the Bible. It's not even in the scriptures. There is stuff that I talk about that they don't try. Yes, there's some stuff I talk about in my videos that pretty much has been mentioned in the scriptures and everything. But there is things that I'm talking about, very deep stuff that you cannot read anywhere else. You can only get that information from some few individuals. So what am I trying to say here is that sometimes, for all of you chosen ones who are waking up, you may be in my footsteps. You may be like me. You may be a person who was many years ago very, with all your whole heart, being a very prayerful person every day in the church and everything. All this religion is in your head. You can read the Bible from the beginning to the end. Now, me, I don't want to go deep into religion because normally I don't like to do religious videos and everything like that. But on my journey of this awakening and everything, I discovered so many truths about religion, even sometimes the things they're never written about in the books. And they've never been able to let people know because they were hidden somewhere else. So for me, that's the reason as to why I decided to step a little bit away from religion, because the more I sought religion and I kept on going from church to church, is the more I kept on getting lost and I couldn't even find myself. I was able only to find myself when I stopped running from church to church and start seeking the answers from within. All the answers I can promise you. The moment I found out those answers, and it will usually happen to a lot of guys who are going through this awakening, the moment you discover that everything you've been searching for outside of you, has always been inside of you, that will be the most changing moment, the most enlightening moment of your life. Is where you're going to start experiencing growth to a degree you have never seen before. Spirituality is not religion. Religion is not spirituality. The two are different, okay? Learn to separate the two. You can only follow or you can only listen to, if you want to, everybody has got free will. You can only follow the person that resonates with your soul. If you find people who are talking about things you do not understand, you can always scroll away. There is so many channels out there who can tell you the things you want to hear. Spirituality may tell you sometimes the things you don't want to hear, even the things you've never heard about in your entire life. So anyhow, let's know what you think about the video in the comment section below. You guys do know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can book a session with me. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.